Hello, my name's Michael from MDH. We're a company based in Croydon. We're a one partner practice with a team of 6 with an IFA as well in our team as well that's come on board recently.
Okay.
Joined AVN back on the back of going to a proactivity day. I went originally and wasn't quite ready to actually commit to putting the time and effort and things in place. And also my practice wasn't at a scale where I thought I was ready. And then I came back to another proactivity event because I knew I was ready to basically start on a big journey with AVN. So when I did the second proactivity, the second time, it was amazing how much extra stuff I actually took on board, because it was funny on how much sort of goes over your head. And then we joined AVN 4-ish years ago. I can't remember exactly. I set up a practice from a bedroom initially with a small handful of clients. I knew that basically advisory services was going to be the way forward. But also when you're setting up a practice on your own, you're setting everything up from scratch. So I worked for some traditional old-fashioned type of firms when I was employed and when I was training, and I realised that we needed to do it differently. So I had some basic ideas, but AVN had done a lot of work over the last 20 years, and a lot of practices have followed a lot of what they did. So all I did was get on board and started imitating. Probably one of the top 5 things we did as part of MDH. It was starting off with basically taking control. So instead of working lunatic hours, you're then looking for systemization, you're looking for inspiration, you're looking for how to scale, you're looking for consistency in pricing. So that was all culminated in the AVN Excellence model. So when we sort of started AVN, we messed around with the tools, the procedures. We did a little bit on masterclass. And then it was, in my mind, the AVN Excellence model was something that you could just go, right, this is a really great blueprint, let's get on with it. So we concentrated initially on the things that we did that we were weakest at, and then the things that we were strongest at, we implemented last. So that way we saw the biggest wins in the practice, and it's helped massively. It's helped with pricing, it's helped with team, it's helped with training, it's helped with systems, it's helped with methodology. I'm one of AVN's biggest fans. You never know, really. Sometimes you don't think you actually change, but it's not until sometimes that you look back that you do. So the one thing about AVN that I do smile about and tease people about with now is, how does it make you feel? So when I first started on the road, I remember when I had a cat, Tracy, and she was all very feely and how does it make you feel and stuff like that. And I think it made me a bit more grounded from a humility point of view. And instead of beating your head over a stick about saying, oh God, we've still got this system to implement, we're still on this, you can actually celebrate the wins along the way. And when you actually celebrate the wins along the way, and some of them are very small and some of them are massive, it actually becomes fun a lot more, because you're not going, oh, I still need to get another 100 grand profit, or oh, I still need to get to £1 million turnover. It's literally you're doing some amazing things, and then you're building stuff with team. And the moment you implement that in your practice, a lot of your team members get a lot more engaged. So, and when you're scaling your business, it's a team and systems are a massive part of that for an accounting practice. So I've got nothing but good things to say about AVN. In 2017, we won AVN Firm of the Year. So okay. When we first started, we were lucky enough to win the Rising Star Award. And then the best thing that I learned about that was Tracy got us to write down things that we'd achieved. So rather than beating your yourself over, oh my God, I still haven't done this on the system, I haven't done this, I haven't done this. When you actually look back and you actually see the things that you had actioned and had implemented, you actually look back and go, we've done a lot, really, haven't we? And when we actually looked through that application, we then realised, yes, and that's where you celebrate along the way. So, and then when we wrote down that, we used the application as an exercise, as sort of like a reflection of what we've achieved. So the following year, we entered a few categories and we won, I think, a customer award. And then that gave us a bit of experience to talk on stage as well, which is really it's really scary when you go and talk in front of a load of people, but great practice at the same time. And then the following year we did the same thing. It was a reflection on what we'd done, and then we entered a few categories. That year we were lucky enough to win 2 categories, and we all stood on stage, and then people voted for who we think we could win. And when we were lucky enough that the room voted for us, and it was a buzzing feeling, because that was where I remember quite clearly being on masterclass. That was sort of a bit of recognition for, over the last 4 years, we've actually implemented a lot of stuff, and there's still things about the practice that I think are that could do with improving, but it's about celebrating them wins along the way. I think I was at one stage at the minute. I think with what I've learned and the way that you do things and the way that you put things into place, I've learned so much. And for the practice, what it's done is I've probably tripled my personal balance sheet. I've probably doubled the size. Not probably. I've definitely over doubled the size of MDH, and I'm looking to double it again in the next sort of 5 years. I'm now taking Fridays off. So I do work quite savagely Monday to Thursday, but I'm a bit of an all-in character. So it's if I do it hard. So but it's about having that conscious decision that you play to your strengths. So it's my choice that I like. I enjoy building a practice. I enjoy working in the practice. I enjoy doing stuff, but I've really enjoyed taking 3-day weekends.